Just send me an invite.
All right.
Thank you.
First question, David Draiman and Disturbed. Are you stoned right now?
No, I wish I was.
Well, I know we were both, marijuana advocates.
You got some luggage under your eyes there too, dude.
You know it. I like to have a good time,
I was stoned earlier, in full disclosure, but no, not right now.
Because right now, I guess there's a 2-hour time difference. So was it a little wake and bake action? Is that part of your medicating process or no?
Off cycle on occasion, yes.
Yes.
But we're getting near to the tour cycle now, and I can't quite continue to do the abuse that I've been doing to myself, at least not at the level I've been doing it.
To stay motivated and focused and all that.
It's not about motivated and focused. You can be motivated and focused and still burn as much as you want. I know some of the most motivated and focused people that I know are, daily pot users, and that's God bless them. But in order for the pipes to not have high temperature, smoke hitting them and compromising them on a regular basis is when I'm about to do the kind of singing that I plan on doing. You need to prepare yourself and you need to train, man. The older I get, the harder it gets. That's for damn sure.
So there's a whole regimen to keep that muscle that is your vocals in top form. So do you switch to edibles then on long tours if you were to do that? Okay. Yeah, and try to avoid smoking. There's one thing that I thought was interesting when finding this out is that you tend to like to write on indica. You say you write like 95% of your lyrics while stoned, which obviously creative muse, and I completely
and a lot of
understand
people prefer sativas for it. They find it more enlightening and more creative. To me, they don't do enough.
Really?
It's like, to me, the difference between indica and sativa is a nice caress. Indica is a good smack, and to go where I want to go for rhythmic dissection, for melodic dissection, the thicker the better. And so I just prefer dank, heavy, not enlightenment bud. I like it. I'll smoke it on occasion, but I don't find myself more creative with that than I am, I find myself more creative when I can withdraw into my own psyche and my creative self and ignore everything else, as opposed to being like ultra heightened and sensitive to everything. Ooh, what's that? For me, it's like, if I'm more like this, the tunes come out better. That's all I can say.
No, you're speaking my language, and I completely understand. The sativa is more of like a manic high, and an indica is more kind of like a meditation of sorts. And then it comes out that way, and that makes sense. Because I was confused at first. Because if I hit sativa, you'll find me in the backyard pacing around, coming up with all different types of wacky ideas, how to tell dick jokes in the morning, like things like that. That was David Draiman right there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast broadcast. Good morning, Mari. Good morning, Powers. And a good morning, everyone who's joining us on this Monday. So I see Anthony, I see Nick, Bearded Wonder. If you guys are watching the stream, don't lurk. Make sure that you put a little comment in there so we see you. We have a lot of fun in store here. There's going to be a lot of little clips from our video conversation from David Draiman. We had a good conversation with him. I had a good time with him as well. He was super kind, and he wasn't high, so he says. I don't know. Jury's still out on that one. But it was good. And we did all this morning long. It was a long weekend, so Powers and I have just been basically lazy, just playing clips and just chilling, getting ready for green screen effect. This is Mari's first time in a new studio. You like it?
I see. I do.
Yeah. I know, super spacious. It really opened up the room, and soon, we're gonna have our streamers be able to check it out too. I'm just waiting for it to get done. It's not done yet. There's still more things that we have to build in this studio to make it a little more comfortable for more people. and then we're gonna party. Like if you thought we got a little rowdy with 3 people, and sometimes we cram a bunch of people into this clown car of a studio, we're gonna have the resources to be able to feature a lot more people and have a good time with it. So like, I'm stoked. I'm already in my head, imagining the possibilities and gearing up for what's to come. But this morning, in the middle of the night, I had this like a stress dream about sales.
Okay.
Not selling the show, and then me having to like break down as to all the selling points of the show and my bio basically. And then it got super egotistical. And in my dream, I'm telling myself like, hey bro, pump the fucking brakes here. Right. But yeah, I mean, as I'm like having this presentation towards unnamed sales staff, I don't even know who the people are. Right. There wasn't anyone clear in my mind that I was talking to in this situation. I did get to a point where as I'm talking, my subconscious inside my dream is like, that kind of sounds douchey. You need to pull it back.
Well, isn't that sometimes what like some of those dreams are, where you are like having a dream about your inner monologue while you're in a weird situation, screwing it up?
Yeah.
Like, heck yeah. It's weird.
I know. Good morning, Eric. Good to see you on there. Good morning, Clarissa. Good to see you as well. Here, let me show you this real quick clip before we go into a speed break. David Draiman cut his head right before he started talking with us.
So by the way, people are wondering what the hell happened to my head over here, which occasionally gets caught in the picture. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
These are the dangers of shaving your head, ladies and gentlemen, when you're trying to get ready very quickly for an interview, and
that just happened.
The Gillette goes a little bit too far. Yeah, that literally just happened this morning. So.
Well, it looks badass.
Yeah, and I will say, wondering like, what the hell's up with his head?
I will say, 2000, David Draiman terrified the shit out of me. You had this great menacing look, and of course with the trademark, rah, 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 I can't do it, and I won't do it justice. But with the piercings, looked a certifiable badass. You still look badass. Yeah. But you were scary back then. So
yeah, 100%. We ordered CDs from Columbia House, and I ordered The Sickness, and it had the guy on the front, right? They're such a great album cover. It scared my parents. They threw it away. They did not want me having anything to do with it. Well, too bad. 20 years later, I'm still following.
Album cover actually is
what?
So it's not me, first of all.
A lot of people think that.
A lot of people think that it is because it's a big bald head, but it's Paul Brown. And it's called, or we called it, The Birth of the Monster, because it's supposed to be a head peeking out of a...
okay, yeah. Always conceptual.
That's what that is.
Oh, my mom's going to love to hear this interview. See, I was right.
She's like, I was right to stand by throwing it away. It's just like, that's
now graphic. It's a timepiece. That's it. Yeah.
For you next. Clear. All right. So there you go. That was Birth of a Monster. Plus, we're just doing a little tease. And you were shaking your head, yes, adamantly, when he showed off his cut on his head. You've done that before?
Yeah. So when you're shaving your head, like that's the thing. Like I'll always use a buzzer, right?
Yeah.
And then I do have a good like razor at home. Like it's a Gillette Mach something 7 razors.
Yeah.
One time I was at Comic-Con and we were going to shave my head and I only had temp razors. Nope. It was like butcher. It was just bleeding. It was brutal. It's so hard to shave your head if you do not have you really do need a good razor.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's terrible.
Yeah, no, I agree. You ever shave your man's head, Maury?
No.
Not yet? Mm-mm. He's not at that point yet?
No, he wants to. He's like buzzed it a lot.
Yeah.
But he looks like a gangster monk. It's so weird.
Yeah, he does.
He likes to do it, but I don't like it. I'm not crazy about it.
Oh, you want him to have hair? Even if he's like balding?
Yeah, because he still has enough, he just kind of shimmy it around and it gives the illusion of a full head.
Yeah. I got a haircut today or this weekend at a new barbershop right down the road from my house.
Yeah, where?
I forgot the name of it. Oh, it was I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'll go back again.
Okay, so enough said.
Yeah, I have a super simple style too. It's a 6 on top, 2 around the side. I go short, and the shorter you go, the less balding you look.
You pay a barber to do that?
Yeah. Well, they got to fade it properly. It's not like, I would ask you to do it, and there's no way I would do it myself. If I was just going to go 2 on top all the way around, then yeah, fuck it, I'd do it myself. Right. But I'm not trying to look like, a skinhead. I'll show you my hair.
It was rare.
Yeah. I know. Very rare moment. Oh, yeah. It's balding a little bit, but
exclusive.
Oh, yeah. You like that? Oh, see, that's for the ladies out there.
It looks nice.
But, yeah. Thanks. But I am, I have male pattern baldness for sure. And I can't speak. But, it does seem like the shorter you go, the better it looks in the back and everything. So,
right. Would you get a hair transplant if you could? Get all the money in the world, would you do it?
No. And that's not even a would you rather, but absolutely not. Because I see
Why?
because I see the hair transplants on everybody on all different levels of money, and it doesn't work.
Elon Musk looks pretty good. And MGK, you can't tell that they did it.
MGK did it?
Oh, yeah. Look at his before photos. Like minimal hair right here.
I think there's plenty of new ways to do it because I would do it. I always said I need that Jeremy Piven status. He's just been getting hairier as he gets older.
Yeah.
Because you look at young, poor Jeremy Piven.
He was bald by 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it did change his career, saved his career. And luckily for me, I still like wearing hats, whether or not I have a hairline or not.
Yeah, Kenzo loves hats.
Yeah. So, and I'm in that kind of lucky enough situation where everything I do, I could wear a hat.
Yep.
Yeah. And I did that on purpose. In fact, the only reason why I'm chasing this dream is because I looked up careers where you could wear a backwards baseball cap.
Yep. And this is number one.
Yeah. This and
catcher.
A catcher for Major League Baseball. The only 2 options. And I've gone as far as, worn suits and matched my hats like Turtle from Entourage to those suits, which has always been my thing. I don't understand it. I've worn hats so much that my head is kind of like molded to the hat, so it just looks weird without the hat. I don't understand. In fact, even as a bonus to my girlfriend, sometimes on those extra romantic nights, I keep my hat on for her. I can't see myself while doing it, nor would I want to because it's a boner killer. But to be a little extra sexy, I don't wear lingerie. I just wear that backwards hat.
You really do keep it on during sex?
Sometimes. Sometimes. Look, Rock 102.1 KFMA. As far as wearing a hat during sex, and that's what we're talking about on the podcast broadcast. Yes, I have worn it, and yes, some people I've been with have preferred it. I've literally had girls like, yes, please put on a hat because I look like a different person without the hat, it's not as attractive. It's just not, and that's a reality, and that's fine. I don't mind wearing a backwards hat while getting it on because it's aerodynamic first and foremost.
Okay,
I'll wear it backwards. I won't wear it forwards because that just. That's dangerous. You could accidentally have the bill hit her in the forehead.
Ouch.
Yeah, not cool at all. And then I don't have to worry about my hair if I'm like a little shaggy. I get self-conscious. Like my hair got long for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like 2 years ago, I was trying it out. Being like, it's one last run.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I know. It looks shaggy. I'm not a fan of it, Powers, but that's okay.
I like it.
Yeah, well, that's cool. To each his own. But I had my hair was kind of long and almost like bangs in front of my eyes. So while I was actually getting it on, I was catching myself like trying to push the hair from my face.
Yeah.
Super annoying.
Ooh.
Not good. So yeah, I am a major fan of hats backwards during sex. And the only problem is that's not a category on Pornhub. So sometimes when you watch like pornos, I like to match up guys that look like they're me so I can fit the fantasy a little better. Right. So I look up frumpy dudes with beards banging hot MILF. And you'd be surprised. There's not that many videos like that. There's only 3.
Well, maybe for deepfake technology, we can get you on there. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. That's something to look forward to. Right. But I'll let you know I have favorited and saved every porno I've come across with a dude wearing a backwards baseball cap. Because again, it's easy just to cut and paste and enter myself in that fantasy scenario.
Yeah.
What do you look up? Like, you ever try to look for a doppelbanger in your porn?
Doppelbanger. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that term, right? No, I would not even know what to look like. I feel like, so here's my thing, even it goes with hair. I've never really looked like a celebrity at all. Like, and I've never gotten one.
Yeah.
And then at a certain age and a certain weight and a certain losing hair, hey, you look like the guy from Mr. Show. So like,
Mr. Show.
Which one? Not Bob Odenkirk.
Right.
You're talking about David Cross.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that. I don't see that. Yeah.
you know, not flattering.
Yeah, I don't see that. No.
Yeah, so that's been like the one thing because I think he had glasses.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, but only glasses. I mean, honestly, you know, they say what's the rule 34? If there's, you know, something,
if it exists, there's porn of it.
Right. There's one exception,
Wow.
and that's David Cross porn. Nobody's searching that ever. No one's ever tried to bring that together.
No, thank you.
So it's good. But I do see a lot of ladies on there that resemble you, Mari.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. I'll show you. It's in my favorites tab.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we're keeping the conversation moving on youtube.com/Beef Vegan. You can join us there. Keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1. Yeah, I didn't talk about internet etiquette at all. I was just like, let's
talk about porn.
But I mean, I'm not lying. I have definitely been like, okay, I kind of look like that dude. He's wearing a hat backwards.
Huh.
Yeah, let's fap to that.
I've never even thought that. Like,
No.
Really?
Like, let's look at a guy. Oh, he kind of looks like me, so that's hot.
Well, no, yeah, I want to be like almost voyeur, like watching myself get it on.
Would you do VR porn then, if you could? There's a
Oh.
whole VR porn scene right now.
Yeah, no, of course. I talked to Scott, our engineer, about this because he's got the technology, the Oculus, and everything else.
Oh yeah. Do you think
Oh, he paid the top dollar.
Yeah. And I just gave him a porn DVD because we have a bag of those right next to Powers right now.
Oh yes, from the adult guy.
Yeah, so if
That's
you
a point
want
of view.
one, you want to spice it up this Valentine's Day, we'll hook you up, Mari. But I did tell him that I did check out VR porn on my phone through Pornhub. They do have those things. I don't have goggles or anything, so you just kind of put it up. But if you move your phone, then it moves around like you're watching it. And I only tried this once because this is what happened to me, and this is a true story. I got the phone out, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking up. There's her face. There's her boobs. That's cool. She's riding me. I'm like, that's great.
Wow.
I'm looking around, and then I look to the left, and I see the TV's on in the background. And I'm like, well, what's on that TV? And I look and I'm like, oh, it's a porn on in the TV
Oh,
in the
Inception.
background. Yes, right? So then I spent literally like 10 minutes just focusing on what's on TV in the background.
In the porn.
Yeah, while the chick is like supposedly riding my virtual dick, which was amazing, by the way.
Well,
Weird.
can I tell you something funny about that? So 2 years ago, when my friend got the Oculus, right? So he gets the Oculus. I've been wondering about it. You can use VR phone. That's baloney.
Right.
All right. So then his girlfriend leaves and my other friend shows up. I'm like, okay, she left. Look, let me ask you this one question. How's the pornography? He's a very like dry, serious guy. He looks at me. He's doing something. He goes, overwhelming. And I was like, oh, sold.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that story. And yes,
so overwhelming. It was so fun.
Oh, I bet.
it's a slippery slope. You got to watch out for it. I would never do the Oculus because I live with my girlfriend and my daughter.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be fully immersed. I need to know if somebody's walking into the room because
Exactly.
God forbid,
Oh my
you're
God.
just this guy. Like, "Ah!" Right? And they can sit there and catch you and watch you for like 10 minutes. Like, this guy is nuts.
Oh man, I would not want to see my dad doing that.
No,
Oh,
thanks.
God.
nobody does. So, yeah. So I like the more traditional terms, but I have definitely searched for doppelbanger, and they're there. In fact, actually, Pornhub knows me so well; it's part of my algorithm now. They're like, oh, got a new video of a dude with a backwards hat. You want to
Just
see it?
for you.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, this one's actually double your pleasure. There's two dudes with backwards hats.
Ooh.
Nope, X out.
You can't watch two guys?
No, I'm
Oh,
not
you mean
into
guy
it.
on guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not into it.
All right. I thought you meant two guys on one girl. I was like, can you watch that?
Two guys and one girl. I don't prefer it. We've
You're
already
like
went down this rant.
just a guy girl kind of guy.
I'm a romantic. No, also a guy, girl is
Oh,
fun
guy,
too.
girl.
Yeah, if it's romantic enough, passionate
okay.
enough.
Right. And then sometimes
Pizza
guy,
guy.
girl, very romantic as well. And then if it can be romantic, guy, girl, so long as it's romantic.
It's anxiety. Yeah.
I mean,
if
that's a
there's
priority.
candles, if there's candles lit in the background.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm glad you like that.
Yeah.
Did you put together some would you rather's for
I
us?
have
this
like a
one?
few. Yeah. How many do you need?
Well, I mean, I think we'll do at least 3 on the air, which we'll probably do in the third segment. I want to do this internet etiquette because it is an interesting list, and I think a lot of people out there need to know this as well because some of us are guilty of doing these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an interesting list that BuzzFeed put together.
Is this etiquette like, am I using too many hashtags on Instagram?
No,
Okay.
and that's not mentioned. And you're good, by the way, with your hashtag. So keep those up and follow Powers if you're not. He just put a clip of the weekend rundown, which I guess is irrelevant because it's Monday, but it was a good clip.
Good stuff. Got to keep up what's going on.
Yeah. Now I talked with David Draiman, and we're gonna keep playing little clips in between. And one of the things that I noticed, because David Draiman's Jewish, right? And if you follow him on Twitter, he's just he got back on social media because he was tired of seeing all this anti-Semitic hate. So he's really on social media to be a voice of reason and speak against the anti-Semitism. And they have a huge show booked this summer in Tel Aviv, in Israel.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a big deal. So I asked him about it. This is what David Draiman had to say. Yeah. But you got a big show planned for in Israel, Tel Aviv. Is this the first time that you played in Israel?
Second time.
Second time. First time, magical experience. They come out in full force and
absolutely amazing the first time. I'll never forget the first time. This time it's going to be right in the heart of Tel Aviv, so it should be a scene. I'm looking forward.
How
to
big is the amphitheater that you're going to be playing there?
I don't know. To be honest, it's pretty sizable. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
You have a lot of Disturbed fans in Israel.
We have more than we did before. When after the first time we played there, that's for sure. We definitely won a bunch of people over. And it's incredible. Seeing just how much support there is there. So it's wonderful. But it's incredible seeing how much support there is in Germany. It's incredible seeing how much support there is in the UK and certainly in the United States at home. But for me personally and for my family is definitely special.
I mean, did you ever imagine going back to your early 20s, auditioning band after band, and then finally getting to Disturbed with Mike, Steve, and Dan? Like, did you ever think that you would make it to these world tours or playing in Tel Aviv? Like, was that ever in the dream of dreams as you're driving in the van?
Our biggest aspiration in the beginning was that we wanted the Riviera Theater in Chicago was like our, pinnacle, a venue of that size. And so what is that venue, like about 3,500 person capacity?
Yeah, something like that.
And we were like, if we could get to play the Riviera theaters of the world, that's it.
Wow.
We're there. And that was like the top that we were trying to get to. So the fact that we've far surpassed that at this point, I mean, the level of gratitude and how much, just looking back at the reality of it, it humbles you whether you want it to or whether you allow it to or not. The grandeur of it, the gravity of it, it's a miracle. Something like this happen to you.
Sold out world tours, over 17 million records sold, and pretty much on the top of your list of probably one of the most successful rock bands ever. I mean, that's amazing.
A timeless legacy that you've been able to, amass over 20 years. I mean, it's very impressive. It's very impressive.
All due to fans who've stood by us and given us every gift we've been blessed with. So.
And it's also due to you guys continuing to work with each other, to have that brotherhood and love, and be able to continue to crank things out.
Very fortunate. I mean, you don't find songwriting relationships and camaraderies like this, more than once in a lifetime. We're very, very fortunate.
Well, I'll read it.
That's
because
fine, I just make sure it's good.
Okay, I just got an email from my daughter's friend's mom, who is awesome and super kind and everything. But there was a mix up because back in the Smashing Pumpkins concert, we were there, and my daughter said, "Hey, my friend's mom dated Powers because of your name, your first name." And there was some kind of mix up, which I didn't know. So then I saw her for the first time this weekend. I was dropping my daughter off at her house, her friend with her friend's mom, and she was out, and I wanted to meet her. And so I got out of the car. I was like, "Hey, so nice to meet you. I know she listens to the show. She's been super kind to my daughter. Her daughter's awesome. I've had her daughter spend the night." So it's kind of one of those things, right? We're just friends of friends. And so I was like, "Oh, so Powers, right?" Because I assume they dated. And at one certain point in time, you thought it was a possibility that you dated some girl, and you were kind of confused for somebody else.
I think you showed me. And I'm like, I don't remember this person, but yeah, I guess.
And I was like, yeah, you go on, pimp. The guy can't even get his ladies in order, right? They can't even keep them. So anyway, so I was under the full-blown assumption that Powers and her dated briefly, nothing too seriously, but she knew Wacky Powers. So I said, hey, nice to meet you. You know my friend Powers, right? And she goes, no. And almost like defensively, right? And then I'm like, and she's like, I mean, from the show. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I mean, from the show. Which, of course, super awkward. Both of our daughters are standing right there. I immediately regret it. I got my foot in my mouth. And I'm like, well, it's nice meeting you. Not necessarily the first impression that I wanted to leave with her. Because, again, she's cool. Your daughter's cool. She's been super kind to my daughter, which I love. And she listens to the show. She's checking all the boxes as to why we should be best friends. And I'm being a fucking, awkward dipshit like always. Yes.
Well, why was it even awkward? Why is it
like, do you know my friend Powers? Like, I can see him, be like, and it's like, no, what?
And that's exactly the face I made too. Yeah. So it made it weirder. He saw you naked. I'm a fucking idiot. I am. I know it hurts. It hurts.
So.
Oh, that's good.
So what's this email?
She said, hey, it's so-and-so's mom. I just wanted to clear things up. I did not date Frank Powers.
Right.
Oh.
20 years ago, I went out with Fat Frank. Can't remember his last name, but we know. And from KLPX. We went on 2 dates only because the first time he forgot his wallet. So he took me to Viva Burrito to make it up to me. Then after dinner, he asked me to buy him a pack of cigarettes. This guy. That is
again not me.
Yeah.
Not me. Over there.
No.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I'm responding back to her right now, being super apologetic, but super funny too. Because what a sec. So on brand.
That's so on brand.
Buy me a pack of cigarettes. So, but that's because, and that's part of the problem is the ego of like, I'm a star, right? And that's his main issue is the celebrity complex. All right, but yeah, that was my weekend in a nutshell, and I felt bad, and it was an embarrassing enough story that we did a speed break about it on the air, and she probably heard it, and that's why I got the email. So now I'm cringing on the inside again.
Good icebreaker though. Now you guys can really be besties, you know?
I will buy her a pack of cigarettes. I don't even think she smokes. I just want to buy her a pack of cigarettes to make up for this guy getting a pack of cigarettes from her. So
I'll tell you, I've never been in a place, and I've been in a place where I've worked with someone that also has the same name as me. I've never been in a place where it causes so much confusion.
Yeah, I know. That's why we can't even say your first name. But I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of good and bad experiences with Franks. So, I cringe a little bit. I'll never refer to you as that. I'm always referring to you as Powers. And I know that you're not jocular and you don't necessarily like that aspect of it, but it's my own trauma. The reason why I won't do that.
That's not what jocular means.
Jocular means when I call you Powers, it's all last name, like a jock would do in high school, right? Sure. I came across a list of signs that you peak in high school, and calling everyone by their last name is one of those signs because it is a very varsity football type thing, right? But I call you Powers because your first name makes me cringe on the inside.
That's right. It's the F word around.
It is the F word around here. And, that's just so, and it's just personal trauma. I have had bad experiences with you, the exception of you. But I've had several bad experiences with everyone with that F name. In fact, so to the point where if anyone sends me a friend request and they have that first name, denied. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a hot chick named Frankie. Denied.
That's what I want to name my daughter. I'll name my daughter Frankie.
Why would you do that to her?
To make it good so that it's Frankie Jr. because I want her to have a cool name. And I think Frankie's a cool name for a girl.
How about you just do a doggy and have a boy?
Well, that's not what I'm trying to have.
You're trying to have a daughter.
Yes. I've always wanted a boy up until recently, and now I think a girl sounds good.
Yeah, no, girls are good. Everyone that has a daughter knows that there's joys to that. And I have a daughter, so I wanted a boy for sure. And I was pleasantly surprised when I had a daughter, and yeah, whatever. But let's get into this list here.
Yeah.
I do have some internet etiquette I want to share with you because a lot of us make this mistake. Okay. So there are do's and don'ts as far as what you should be doing online, how you interact with people. And BuzzFeed put together this list. Here's the first one, right? If someone sends you a meme you've already seen, what do?
Haha. Who cares?
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. They say haha it anyways. Saying, yeah, I already saw that. Just kind of rude.
Right.
Super rude.
Yeah. Well, then I apologize for ever doing that because I've ha-ha'd and said, yeah, I saw that because I'm glued to the internet. Of course I saw that. But next time, future reference, I'm just going to ha-ha. I don't care how old it is. All right. When you put someone on speakerphone, give them the heads up if someone's with you. Did I just do this to you?
No, but my girlfriend does this all the time where she'll go, and I'll do a clean one. She'll go, am I on speaker? I'll go, yeah. She'll go, penis wrinkle. And she'll just yell something ridiculous.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's a fun way to do that. But yeah, I have to be more conscious of that as well. I was on speakerphone with my mom, and then she said something about my girlfriend. I'm like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's right here. I was like, hi.
Yeah.
Switch it up. No more than 2 food photos at the table. So if you're someone who posts photos of meals, the limit is 1 photo and 1 more if the first one was blurry. But spending 15 minutes trying to get that ultimate shot, you need to back up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about etiquette. What are you posting blurry photos for?
Yeah, well, I know you don't post it. That's why you get the second one. I tried to take food photos over the weekend, and I was like, what am I doing to myself?
I took one. I sent it to you because I got a $75 steak.
Yeah, that's true.
I had to show it to a friend.
Yeah. And that only made me mad because my coupon for Casino del Sol expired. I know. $100 coupon. Anyways, let's see. Deep likes are creepy. You should know that. All right.
What's that?
When you like something really, really old.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And that's usually if a guy's thirsting after a girl.
Yeah.
And you like something from like 2 years prior. Yeah. You're basically advertising that you're checking her out in
lurking.
A very lurky, stocky way.
I mean, I lurk and I do that, but I'm just very aware of my liking thing.
Right. You got to be careful though. Sometimes I remember a situation where I was going through an old DMs and then I'm just looking and I came across like a video in the DM and I'm like, oh yeah, what was this video on? I know it was some kind of naked one. So I like click on it to try to open it and it accidentally hearted it. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, I tried to unheart it. And then the girl messaged me like 2 minutes later. It's like, did you just like an old video that I sent you from like a couple years ago? Like, yeah, but I was just trying to delete it. Caught red-handed.
Oh, red-handed.
Red-palmed, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to be careful of that. Deep likes are creepy. And the 5th and final thing we're going to share on the air as far as internet etiquette is concerned, your main dating profile pic can't be a group photo. So a lot of people make this
always annoying
mistake. Yeah. Because then usually if you see a group photo and if you're coming across these profiles, you're like, I wonder which one she is or he is. You can guarantee the least attractive one in the bunch. That's the person.
Yeah.
So don't do the group photo dating profile. They're not trying to bang all your friends. Maybe they are, but just one person at a time. We have more that I'll share on the podcast broadcast. Plus, when we return, Mari's back with another round of Would You Rathers and your beef tips. So keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Let's finish out this list.
You got to look out for those late night likes too. You can't be liking things at 2:30. Nope.
Yeah,
people know what you're doing.
Yeah, the booty call
Wait, so if
hour.
you like something though, and like unlike it, does it still show up on their
Oh,
thing?
yes. Oh, yeah.
I think I've done that where I've actually liked it and then tried to unlike it.
And in fact, actually, it's creepier because they'll get the notification that you liked it, and then they'll go look at the post and notice that you didn't like it.
Yes.
Then you know exactly. You don't need to be an internet detective to figure out what just happened there. So, they say that you should unfollow your friends' exes out of solidarity. Now, you have a lot of friends, Mari, and I'm sure that, a couple breakups are involved there. Are you friends with any of your friends' exes?
I am Nah, I'm trying to think, but I also like don't have social media right now either.
That's true.
So
Yeah. Yeah. She had to like cleanse herself.
Yeah.
Of all the filth of just guys sliding her DM saying, show me your boobs.
Yeah.
And also, can you come in on Monday?
I was just going to say.
Just kidding. They say never text just the word hi or hey. It's a waste of time. It creates an annoying extra ding for them to deal with.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. I'll stop doing that.
Do you reply several sentences, dings, 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 or do you write like, I'll write enough and then send it once?
Well, no, I mean, this is not on there, but I would say that having too much in the reply, like writing a novel back, is annoying as well, because it could be difficult to read, especially if you don't space it out for paragraphs. So some people will do is it'll be like a whole scrolling screen where just like, sentence, no spaces in between. And you're like, okay, I gave up on reading this, especially if I'm like in my car or doing something and got to do a quick glance and like, up novel, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to, practice word economy in Texas, and then also at least be able to separate paragraphs. If you're going to have like a several paragraph response, don't make it all just one giant paragraph. Do a couple sentences, and then, you could do several. But let me see. The last.
I'm more mean just because sometimes I'll have a friend and then like they will just be like, yeah, ding. I'll see you at the thing, ding. What time are you leaving, ding? It's like, what? No, you don't need to do that.
No, yeah, that's the worst. And I put my phone on silent anyway.
That's
so
the worst. Listen to the three of us with our first world problems.
I know. And there's a massive earthquake in Turkey too that we're not talking about at all.
3 dings at once. Oh,
yeah. At least the structure's still standing. And it's brutal on Insta or Twitter right now. Never FaceTime someone out of the blue. You got to ask first. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I guess you're right. People over 30 shouldn't use GIFs, which I don't know about that.
That's erroneous.
Okay, erroneous.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I love to use GIFs.
Everyone uses GIFs. That's just how we do it. Also GIFs. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, well, this one, in the notes I wrote, isn't that kind of ageist? So yes, that is. And if you're hip to GIFs, then GIF away.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes Homer, disappearing into a bush just says it all.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, one of the most fun things I like doing on our social media is if I post any kind of questions, a random question of the day, and people respond, I like to reply back with GIFs.
Because it is fun and easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's great. And actually, it's good creative exercise because then you put in things, you try to find the best reply, funniest reply with it. And it's a fun little game to play. And yeah. And finally, if you like a comment on someone's post, you got to like the post too. And that's the unwritten rules of the internet. You can't just like a comment on someone's post. You have to add to boost the algorithm, bruh.
I don't know. I imagine that happens relatively automatically a lot of the time. But
BuzzFeed said otherwise. It's like saying the post was fine, but their friend's comment was much better.
Yeah, but that's because their friend's comment might be a punchline.
Yeah, but see, if you're going to be at the party, you got to thank the host.
I guess, but
that's the internet rules.
I like that analogy though. Yeah, at the party, you gotta thank the host. That's funny.
Absolutely. So, all right. Earlier this morning, we played this clip, but I want to share with you guys, if you're aspiring musicians, if I got held out in the stream, and anyone else who's joining us in the stream, we talked to David Draiman of Disturbed. And what's great about this is I asked him about the Chicago music scene growing up. Before they kind of broke big. And there was a lot of bands that are very prominent today that he name drops in there that were all coming up around the same time, but they were playing different circles in the Chicago music scene. And in this clip, David Draiman explains why. Check it out. That scene. What was it like in the music scene coming up as Disturbed before you made that big break? What were bands that you were like buddy bands with that you started, playing with that made it to the next level with you, or did they?
It was a weird scene. There were 2 groups of bands in Chicago. The bands that were known as the South Side bands, the South Side Chicago bands that were typically a little bit more blue collar, a little bit more rock oriented, or hard rock oriented, metal oriented, I should say. And then there was, the Smashing Pumpkins and the Local H's of the world, more alternative kind of family of bands in Chicago. And inner city clubs didn't want to book metal bands, hard rock bands, and
really,
and the South Side clubs became a haven for the hard rock and metal bands. I mean, I couldn't get a gig at the Metro back in the day. We ended up jumping on a bill with some friends of ours in a band called Lungbrush back in the day, and a singer called by the name of Roach, who's unfortunately no longer with us. But they gave us our first opening slot at one of the inner city clubs. We used to play a place back in the day, Thurston's. We've done all, and then in the South Side there was a place called Champs that became our home away from home. That's where we kind of built our base and expanded from the South Side there to the point where we were bringing 750,000 people to a place like the Metro on an opening bill for, let's say, one of the other opening bills we got on as an opening band was for a band called Loudmouth. I'm sure some people remember back in the day. Those guys initially didn't want to give us an opening spot on their bill, but we kind of proved ourselves and proved that we weren't going to be too metal, not cool enough for the bill. It was a weird scene back then. We had to go the unconventional route. We weren't welcomed with open arms. We had to force our way in.
I find that to be the case with many. The divide between alternative bands and metal bands kind of still to this day. Unfortunately, there are so many similarities, especially the great metal bands that incorporate a lot of melodic vocals and things like that. So
it's a shame too, because I mean, we truly do have great respect for one another. We do. Like, I love Billy and the Smashing Pumpkins. I think he's incredibly talented. I love Scott from Local H. I love, the Alkaline Trio guys in Chicago. I mean, there's a lot of really great alternative bands that have made their mark and deservedly so. What I didn't understand was the attitude of the clubs. It wasn't the musicians that there was a problem with. The elitism didn't come from them. For the most part, it was like, oh no, we don't book your kind of band here.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what are they afraid of? What was the worst thing that ever happened at Champs? Exactly. Exactly. Now all those venues are begging for you to show up.
Right.
That's all
right. Hey, what's going on? We're back. That was David Draiman, and we got the crew going on. We're going to do a Would You Rather in a little bit. And
you sound so professional now.
I know. Oh, hey, what's going on? Well, I just replied back to my friend's, or my daughter's friend's mom. Oh. And this is what I wrote her. I said, let's see. Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. Both for the mix-up and that you dated that guy, because fuck that guy. I apologize for being awkward, and I didn't want to sound like I was putting you on blast because I was making fun of me being stupid while teasing Powers. Gotta tease you. I would like to make it up to you. Can I buy you a pack of cigarettes to reimburse you for the pack that you bought, Fatty McFuckface, over on KLPX, even if you don't smoke? I just is as a symbol of a peace offering of sorts and appreciation. And it's like, hey, and I know with inflation, this is 20 years ago too, because he's been there a long time. I'm sure it only cost $4. Even more of a cheap ass move, too.
I forgot my wallet on a date.
Yeah.
Like, really?
What? No, you didn't, scammer. And then getting a pack of cigarettes too. You're like, yeah, look, I know exactly what his mentality was in that too. He's like, it's obvious at this point, there's no way in hell that you'll do anything to my dick. So can you buy me cigarettes? Yeah. So you get something out of it. I don't know. It's brutal. So I did offer. I didn't get a reply yet, but
so funny.
I want to, Manny, but I know I don't want to get greedy. Well, I guess I'll show it.
Wait, what is this picture?
Manny sent me a picture. He did graphics for me. I can't post it on social media because Mac would get too upset. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Let's see if I can pull it up here. And I got to. I'm seeing. Hold on.
Is it offensive?
It's not offensive. It's a burn against the guy across the hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and it's pretty funny. And well done. It was. Let's see if I could pull it up here. And get those would you rather's ready there, Mark. We're gonna be on here in a second. Here I'm gonna have to just straight go to Instagram. Or no, you know what? Sorry, I know this is riveting,
compelling, and rich.
Yeah. Okay. I love when you crack yourself up.
I just laugh.
Yeah. All right. I'm just waiting on the interwebs. Just give me a break here. There we go. All right. So this is what Manny shared with me.
Show it.
Yeah. You ready? You ready to see it? You ready to see it? All right. And it is right. I think here. Yep. Here. This is what Manny shared. You see it?
Oh my God. Yeah, you can't do that.
I know.
You can't do that.
I know. So, I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I like that he put in the effort there. It's awesome.
A good bumper sticker.
Oh, great bumper sticker. I can't rock it on my car, and I can't repost it because again, they would have a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
But because they don't have a good sense of humor. But I thought it was funny. It definitely made my day when I got it. And I think I got it like a couple of days after he sent it. But I was like, ha! That's good. I sent it to Shmonty. Shmonty had a good time with that too. Yeah, he thought it was fun. All right, let's get back on here. We got about 10 seconds, and then we're gonna do Would You Rathers. And
I'm scared.
I think they're pretty mild.
Rock on 2.1 KFMA. It's Beef Vegan Presents. We got the lovely Mari in studio on the podcast broadcast, and as usual, on Mondays she likes to ask us these hard-hitting questions. Now, you remember the drill, Powers? Okay. You have to pick one or the other. You can't say neither. And then you have to explain why, no matter how difficult the situation is. All right. There has to be reasoning behind it. Mari, what's your first would you rather situation?
Okay. So would you rather have your foot run over by an army tank or stomped on by an angry elephant?
All right, Powers, which one?
I'm gonna go with stomped on by an angry elephant.
Okay, why?
One and done. Those tank treads are long.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
You'll be sitting there screaming for quite some time.
That's true. But I'm actually on the flip side of that coin. I would rather have my foot run over by a tank. That way, just kind of flatten it out, really stretch it out. I feel like I would have like duck feet, like a bill. Like once it heals, the bones heal, it would still be super wide and make for a badass story. And also make me really good at swimming in circles. All right, what else?
Okay, would you rather live without the invention of kitchen appliances? This is all kitchen appliances, or toilets?
Oh, well, that's easy. Without the kitchen appliances, because I'm on the couch while my girlfriend's making dinner anyways, so that's her problem.
Shut up.
What about you, Powers?
I guess I'm pooping in the yard because I like the microwave.
That's what I chose, right? Yeah, I like my air fryer. I don't want to get rid of that. My blender.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, your husband's in the living room, watch TV, and of course, you got to do all the hard work. So, I understand why you would say that. And the microwave is severely overrated. If you could avoid using a microwave, do that because
microwave.
It zaps out the nutrients.
That's actually a bunch of nonsense.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's been debunked, but I don't like the way it cooks anyways. All right, give us one more would you rather then, Mari.
Okay, would you rather excrete butter or vegetable oil through your pores forever?
Yeah, that's an excellent question here. Powers is considering it, pondering it, and the answer is
I'm gonna go with it's butter.
Yeah, and why?
Delicious butter. Delicious is the word.
Yeah, delicious is the word. Now I'll tell you why you're wrong, and I'm going with vegetable oil because you're gonna smell butter, right?
Right.
It's stronger smell, and and with vegetable oil, you could turn any surface into a slip and slide by excreting this, right? You're sliding down anywhere. Yeah. And it's fantastic. And this is also great when you're wrestling. They're not going to be able to hold you down. It's almost like a natural defense. Yeah. It's like, try to grab me. Whoop, yo. Didn't know. That's sweat vegetable oil. So that's why I feel like that's the better answer. And I'm going to stick with that.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
I just like muffins. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there is a benefit where like if I had toast and I just rub it on your arm,
good to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Nick the Bearded Wonder on the stream is saying butter all the way as well. So you're not alone.
There you go.
Right. Excellent. Would you rather's, Mari? We got your beef tip coming up after these words. Keep it right here. It's Rock 1 2.1. And I didn't even get to the dirty reasons why vegetable oils.
Grody. I mean, I guess it's organic though, right? It could just kind of rub your elbow in it.
I've definitely come across stories where people have utilized that as like a makeshift lube.
What, butter?
No, vegetable oil.
I think butter would be a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's yeasty.
Yeah.
You need margarine, really, if you want to get going.
Yeah. I can't believe you use butter. No. Well, I know it is grody. All right, I have another quick clip I want to share with David Draiman while you guys are on here, because it's not every day we get a major rock star popping in talking about all this cool stuff.
I know.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway, if I was gonna try to get like a headline or clickbait type of conversation, was talking about Godsmack, Sully and Godsmack, and them announcing that they're no longer putting out new music anymore, asking if David Draiman and Disturbed would ever consider doing the same and following after Sully. His response was almost directly to Sully, and it was a good one. So in case you missed it, went a little something like this.
It's a miracle to have something like this happen to you.
Sold out world tours, over 17 million records sold, and pretty much on the top of your list of probably one of the most successful rock bands ever. I mean, that's amazing.
A timeless legacy that you've been able to, amass over 20 years. I mean, it's very impressive. It's very impressive.
All due to fans who've stood by us and given us every gift we've been blessed with. So.
And well, it's also due to you guys continuing to work with each other, to have that brotherhood and love, and be able to continue to crank things out.
Very fortunate. I mean, you don't find songwriting relationships and camaraderies like this, more than once in a lifetime. We're very, very fortunate.
Right. Now, a band like Godsmack recently announced that they're done recording albums, right? Their next album is going to be their last one, and they're just going to play their catalog. Do you ever see Disturbed going that route? I mean, obviously you have a impressive enough catalog where you could tour on that for years to come, or will you always have the desire to write and put out new music?
I totally know where Sully is coming from. And, you put a lot into every single song. You put your heart, your soul, you invest your mind, you lay your thoughts and your inhibitions, go away. You lay your thoughts bare. It's tough. And after a while, it's like you don't really need to go through all of the preparation and all of the work and all of the sacrifice that goes along with crafting these songs. But for me personally, I mean, and especially considering the experience that we just had making the Divisive record, we had so much fun with it. The magic of that moment of creation where you just, even the part that like my guitar player, Danny, that he's described numerous times, that happens literally every single time we're together, where we come up with stuff right in front of each other, improvisationally, that, automatically resonates, and it's not that you come up with it automatically, you find it, and that moment of finding it, of knowing that you have something, of knowing that you've got a chorus hook or you've got a riff that, is just undeniable. Those are incredible, magical moments. And I personally, I don't want to give those up just yet. I know that we've got at least, another record's worth of original material waiting to go that is as good, if not demonstrably better than what we just put out. So I have no intention of stopping anytime soon, but I do understand where he's coming from.
I just like that I can see you now. You're not hiding.
Well, I didn't mind hiding, but yes. And we're going to have, once Charles is up, these monitors will be on actual arms that I can move around as well. So I could open it up or I could hide depending on how terrifying the guests look. And I have a screen over here that's edgeless. So I think I'm going to have 2 of those, which Scott is very excited about. He likes those. So it doesn't have a black border around it. Yeah, it's like infinity screens. Yeah. And Powers came up with a good idea today. I think he was talking to Tristan about it because we have a TV. If you do me a favor, Mari, grab that other webcam that you just had.
Right here.
Yeah, grab it, use it as a handheld. So first we want to show, I'm going to show people the green screen setup. So I got to get a better green screen, a bigger one, as the one I bought was not going to be big enough for what we're going to do. So we're going to do green screen style segments. And trust me, it's green. That webcam is that shitty. But lift it up and show that TV in the corner. So if you guys been there, so we have a TV right here that, we don't use. But normally the reason why radio studios have TVs is so they can have the news on in the background. So you'd be like, breaking news, we're all going to die. It's depressing, yada, yada, right? Whatever you want to put. It's a distraction, look at that. The single game tickets are available starting as low as $10. What? Yeah. So anyways, so we have that TV there. So Powers, Tristan were talking, and Tristan was talking about how he watches the podcast based off of, he has a Fire Stick and he watches the YouTube stream, and Power suggested that we do the same. So when we have guests in the studio, they could see what we're showing on the screen when we have them hard cameraed and they don't bring in a laptop. And I'm like, psh, brilliant. So now I got to buy a fucking Fire Stick. So, this whole studio, which are built for us, is ending up
paid for by him,
paid for by me. It's costing me an arm and a leg. The lights, I have to get extension cords for all the lights, the green screen, all of it. The ring lights. I know it because then they claim poverty, and we went over our budget and doing this year's budget or last year's budget. Because if you combine the two, I feel like you're still under about 10 grand.
And I remember at the Christmas party, there's something about making $400,000, but I don't know who that was for, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, but long story short, we are getting our toys in order so we could play and have a lot of fun, and we are. And I am excited about that. That green screen is going to be endless possibilities as far as what we can do, as far as exercising our creativeness, which, whether it's sketches, characters, like concert updates, the whole nine. Yeah, it'll be super fun, so I don't want to reveal too much. Just know that inside this party of a mind here,
it's a party for sure.
Yeah. A lot of different directions. Like, come on, let's do this. Let's show it how it's done.
It's a chaotic party.
Yeah, and it's important too because the company itself is investing in cameras, doing the video podcasting here, and I wanted us to be the leading example for the entire company, not just this cluster, the entire West Coast operations. But this is how you should do it.
I like it.
Right. All right. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to the show. And thank you guys for jumping back. I know last week was such a short week for us. We only did 2 shows because we're getting the new studio built, and it took a while to iron out all the kinks, and we're still kind of working things out. But I do enjoy the fact that you guys are jumping back on the stream with us Monday morning, right on time as usual. Don't forget to subscribe when you're on the youtube.com/Beef Vegan. There you'll see all of our podcasts plus different clips, and we're going to upload a bunch of our conversation with David Draiman and Disturbed, who we were talking with all throughout the show today. The reason why is because Disturbed is going to be performing in Phoenix at Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, formerly Cricket, but formerly whatever, we all been there. Yeah. That's going to be on July 22nd. So those tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. and it's a big deal. And it's on a Saturday. They're playing with Breaking Benjamin. So tune in tomorrow morning for your chance to win another pair of tickets before they go on sale. And of course, we're giving away Nickelback tickets all week as well. And I didn't even give away my pair of tickets for Nickelback today.
Oh,
I know. It's upsetting. In fact, actually, I want to rectify it. Give me a number between 1 and 100.
69.
All right, 69. All right, now, Mari, give me a number between 1 and 3.
3.
3. Okay, so now I'm going to divide 69 by 3. Well, I gotta get my
calculator.
I think it's 33.
It is.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No, it's 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Caller number 23. 600 KFMA, 600-5362.
23.
You will receive a pair of tickets for the greatest rock and roll band that's ever existed, Nickelback. That's right. Nickelback is going to be performing in Arizona. I don't have the details, and it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. You're there because they're the greatest rock and roll band ever, and they're making an extraordinary comeback. In fact, they just got snubbed on the Grammys last night because they should have won every single category. Caller number 23 right now is going to win a pair of tickets. Thank you, Mari, for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Powers, for coming in. Woo. And thank you guys for listening. Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will come an end to all your grief.
What?
But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.